Okay, here's the answer key for the Topic 7 test version 1. Let's see. For interpreting functions, even, odd, or neither, the algebraic definition of even is if you plug in a negative anytime there's an x, if that exponent chews it up and spits it out and you get the original function. This is the algebraic way. So when you plug in the negatives, everything turns back to positive except for the 6x. That goes to negative. And because everything else went back to positive but this one changed, it's not going to be odd either because factoring out a negative won't work. So the answer to this one is neither. Fully decomposed, we have a vertical asymptote at this GCF of x, so a vertical asymptote at 0 and a vertical asymptote at 6. The common 0 is at -3, that's where the hole is. And you can't forget about the root at 2 when you're sketching. So the root at 2 means the graph is going to jump across and follow that asymptote up there. So here's the basic L shapes. Actually, a lot of students did pretty well on that. I was impressed. I was pleased with the progress on that. Okay? A phase shift is a horizontal shift, boys and girls. Okay? It's always h, and h always lies, so the phase shift is pi over 2 units, and you have to give a direction. This is an always increasing graph, so it's tangent, not cotangent. What is the period? The period is from there to there, so the period is pi. If the period is pi, the period of cotangent and tangent functions is pi over b. So if the period is pi, it looks like the b coefficient is 1. And then there's the saddle point where it changes inflection. It's at 1/3 for the amplitude, so it's that one right there. Down here, I'm still getting students. I want to commit seppuku, I swear to heaven above. I'm still getting students who are trying to tell me that this 3 and the 4 becomes 7 log something or other. No! These are not like terms. If it was 2x plus 3x, are those like terms? Yes, those are like terms. Log x and log y are not like terms because the arguments are different. Now, if I said log 2 plus log 2, are those arguments the same? Yes, you can combine them and say it's 2 log 2. But 3 log 7 and 4 log w are not like terms. You have to use the properties of logarithms. Okay, down here, just doing mental math, evaluating, you got to think 2 to what power is 8? It's 3. 9 to what power is 1? It's 0. 7 to what power is 1 over 49? Fraction means you have a negative exponent. If you can't remember the unit circle for the final, you're going to get a 0 on trig function standard. And this one, you had to draw your triangle, label your sides, do Pythagorean theorem, do sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, cotangent, reciprocals, profit. Turn the page. This one I made, it was the same for both tests, but I made 2 different number values. You got to remember how to find the average rate of change to compare. This one was not quite 0. It's just down a little bit from there to there. It's not quite 0. And because we miss a relative minimum and a relative maximum and a relative minimum, it's not a good indicator. You got to remember how to calculate average rate of change. For this one, students keep trying to take like 81. I saw students say, oh, this is 27 times 3. No, 27 to the 3rd power is some number up around 19,000. Okay? So you got to take them down to the lowest common base you can and then distribute correctly and then set these 2 expressions equal and solve. For the box plot, this was a new one you guys weren't ready for, so I didn't feel bad putting this on there because it wasn't that hard. The box plot, you got to order all the data, find the median, and then find Q1 and Q3. That's all we were looking for. Down here, interpreting the histogram, you had to correctly count the number of values, and then between 13 and 21 minutes was here's 13, so it's in that range to that range. That's 33 out of the total of 76 data points for 43%. Okay, that's the end of the video.